Hi guys, and welcome to another video on Sonos Life. So the last few weeks have been a little different. I had my interviews with the amazing Rocky Romero, and you can check those links out below in the description. But this week I thought, as we're now fully in the Road to Tokyo Dome, and we just finished the Best of Super Junior and World Tag League Combined Tour, I thought I'd have a little review of the tournament in whole, and especially the final night, which was on Friday, which was amazing. Now going into this tournament, I had sort of my preconceptions. I assumed Best of Super Junior is going to be amazing, and I'm not really going to be invested in World Tag League as much. To an extent, that was right. Because for me, I've always loved junior wrestling, and there was always going to be a sense that the junior matches were always going to stand out more to me. However, I was massively surprised at how good World Tag League was. And I think I'm going to start with that, because going into it, there was such a diverse number of teams. You had established teams, so Dangerous Tekkers, God, Finjuice. You had new teams, so Jeff Cobb and Great-O-Khan, Shingo and Sanada, Yujiro and Evil. It was a mix of so many different teams, and I think that's what worked. You had your good guys, you had your bad guys, and overall, the quality of matches were really good. Now, for me, I think the tag division has been lacking, and I think a lot of people have been saying that. But I think when you've put all of the teams together in this one tournament, obviously there aren't as many as normal. You can see that yes, there aren't many, but like the junior tag division, there is quality in it, especially now with all these new teams. Now, like I said, we know what God can do. We know what Finjuice can do. We know what Dangerous Tekkers can do. For me, Dangerous Tekkers are like the perfect couple. They're like relationship goals, and they're not in a relationship. And then we have people like Hanares, who not as established as the others, but still doing amazing. And then we had these new teams. So Jeff Cobb and Great-O-Khan of the Empire were standouts. They didn't win as many matches as I think possible, but they had some standout performances. They picked up some huge wins. And then personally, my favourite team, which I didn't know was going to work, Shingo Takagi and Sanada. Now, we know that the past few years, Evil and Sanada have literally ran the heavyweight tag division with God, and I didn't know whether it was going to work. Shingo is this passionate, fiery wrestler who sometimes doesn't really think before he does anything, whereas Sanada is a lot more level-headed, and Shingo actually brought this up. But I really think that this made the team work perfectly. You had this light and shade, this calm, this energy. And even though they didn't win, and I thought they were going to become very close, I think it's a team that in the future is actually going to be the LIJ representative for the division. And I never thought I'd expect that. And I also think that it's one of those teams that is so diverse in their wrestling styles. So you've got Shingo's speed and his strength, and then you've got Sanada's speed and his agility. So that just worked. And then obviously if I'm talking about teams in general, they didn't win, which was one of my predictions out of the window, which I think you'll realise is a common occurrence with me. Dangerous Tekkers. Now, they had some amazing matches as well. Their match against God, their match against Finjuice, their win against the Empire. The two of them, they are literally the least likely pair. Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr., one's quite big and muscly. Zack, he's called himself an udon noodle in the past. But there is this chemistry. I think it even rivals Finjuice and God, and you've got best friends and brothers here. I say Dangerous Tekkers is like that relationship where they're not a couple, but honestly, they're like husband and wife. It's just amazing to see. And I think that is the thing about tag team wrestling. You need to have people with a connection to each other. And that's why I think out of the entire lineup, my only issue in terms of teaming was Yujiro and Evil. They were probably, as you can tell, they were just thrown together. You had the other team, so God brothers. Fale and Chase Owens have been together for so long. For me, Evil and Yujiro just disconnected. And I'm not going to get started because you've known what I know about Dick Togo. I'm just sick of the guy. And you'll sort of realise when I talk about it compared to Best of Super Junior. The interference from Jado and Dick Togo is something that I kind of did get sick of. And I know it's a Bullet Club thing, but yeah, I think we don't need Dick Togo, and I think maybe that sort of lessened my interest in Evil and Yujiro. However, despite that, it was such a close tournament. Compared to Best of Super Junior, it literally came down to the wire on the final few nights. You had God, Finjuice and Dangerous Tekkers all vying for the final and all with equal chances. In the end, despite Dangerous Tekkers picking up a win on the final night, the final was God versus Finjuice. Now this is a big thing. You have the previous winners of World Tag League Finjuice, but then you have the 6-time IWGP Tag Champions God, who, apart from everything that they've achieved, have never won World Tag League, and it was an intense match. To start with, Jado came out, but Matt Yasami stood his ground and kicked him out, so it was on an evil footing the match throughout. However, at the end, not only did Jado come out, but Kenta came out, and with their help, God finally got their win. Now the funny thing is, maybe if Evil and Yujiro did it, I'd have been annoyed, but I think it just works. It worked for everything, because you know what? God are amazing wrestlers. They used Jado, yes, they used Kenta, but on the core of it, they were an amazing team who were winning. And it was really nice to see them win the trophy, and finally that's like almost like their entire bucket list ticked off. I did feel sorry for Finjuice because I love Finley and Juice, and I wanted them to have some happy beers. But I think from here, this is where we can see a stronger tag division. We're going to get heel versus heel at Wrestle Kingdom, and I really want to see New Japan sort of focus on this. Maybe let's see a spotlight on Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, who also did amazing. Ishii and Yano were a great team. I think now is really the chance to jump on the bandwagon and sort of embrace what World Tag League has done, because I think then you're not going to have a division that's sort of lacking or an afterthought. And with the amazing wrestlers, you can do so much. Now on to Best of Super Junior tournament. Now I expected it to be amazing when I saw the lineup and the cards. Oh my god, like that was actually an understatement. Going into the tournament, we had a few changes. So unfortunately, Yoshinobu Kanemaru was injured, but then we got Yuya Uemura in it, which I was excited about because I wanted him in to start with. And with sometimes these tournaments, I sort of struggle to find top matches. I'm like, it was alright, but I mean, there could be something different. With Best of Super Junior, there was literally a possible Match of the Year candidate nearly every show. We've had 10 completely diverse wrestlers from different factions with different ideologies, and the big thing for me, different attitudes to what being a junior is about. I remember a time where if you were junior heavyweight, it was flippy stuff, it was jumping off things, high risk. This division and this lineup showed that that is not the case. You had Doki and Desperado. I'll talk about Desperado a bit more later. But Doki was literally a standout. He picked up a massive win over Bushi and went from being a scapegoat to actually shining in a lot of people's hearts, and not just mine and Gino Gambino's. You had Sho and Robbie Eagles. I mean, two of those guys who are probably the top of my MVP list for the year, putting on star matches. I am doing a list of the best matches. Robbie Eagles comes up so many times. Hiromu and Bushi. Hiromu literally, I think, was in every one of my favourite matches. Taguchi and Wato. Like, you had these pairings, and for me personally, there was not one weak link. Even Yuya Uemura, who unsurprisingly picked up no wins, actually properly shone and came close to victories on several occasions, widening his offense and also just gaining experience that he probably wouldn't have got, the same experience Ren Narita got last year. And I'm sort of struggling off the top of my head because I don't want to miss anything, but matches that you should watch out for. The block match between Desperado and Hiromu. I mean, I'll talk about that when I talk about the final, but these two have this perfect connection with each other. It is intense. It is bordering love and hate. It was something that came out in the match so well. Robbie Eagles and Hiromu. Robbie obviously ruined Hiromu's comeback last year. This match, you know what? I really wanted Robbie to win, but despite everything, I think Robbie came out looking fantastic. Sho versus Taiji Ishimori, a lot shorter of a match, but had enough impact in about 10 minutes as a half an hour match could have. Master Wato versus Taguchi, two tag teammates, putting on such a respectful showing. I mean, I'm going to talk about it. The amount of times Taguchi's ass was on show. Some people didn't like it, but you know what, as a fan of the Funky Weapon, it was great. And on top of that, we did get to see some big match Taguchi in the tournament, which was great. But I think as amazing as the entire tournament was, it was the final night. So we had Hiromu versus Desperado in the final, which, even though I was gutted that, like I said, another prediction was out the window, show didn't get to the final, I don't think I could have been any happier to see Hiromu versus Desperado again. Going into this match, their relationship had changed a bit. So before this tournament, Hiromu was almost indifferent to Desperado. But after his cheating in their block match, it was suddenly so intense. The match itself started really quickly, both men doing anything to get the advantage over the other. I think it was around halfway that things suddenly changed. Like, Hiromu got some momentum back and suddenly threw a very uncharacteristic punch at Desperado, like a closed fist, and started ripping away Desperado's mask. And instead of just carrying on with half of his mask, Desperado put everything on the line and took his mask off fully. Can I say, first thing, Desperado, you've been hiding your handsome face for too long. I'm annoyed about that. But yeah, for me, it sort of links back to 2 years ago where Desperado's mask got ripped off, and Milano said, this shows that his identity means nothing compared to this relationship he has with Hiromu and the desire to win. Now, in the end, Hiromu won, and congratulations for winning your second best for Super Junior. But really, both men came away winners. Like, people who never really cared for Desperado like I did saw a different side to him, saw how amazing an athlete was in a match that combined wrestling, storytelling and passion. And like Hiromu said, they will forever be intertwined through identity, through their personalities, through love. And yeah, it just ended, because it was the main event, it ended an amazing few weeks. And it also now starts the road to Tokyo Dome. I don't really know what's going to happen. We're going to have to wait for the card to be released. But honestly, I am so excited. We've got 2 nights again at the Tokyo Dome, and anything could happen. We've got the double titles, the junior heavyweight, tag title matches on the card. Honestly, we could see so much, and I'm just really excited that after everything that's happened, we're going to have Wrestle Kingdom. It might be slightly different, but we're going to have English commentary, we're going to have Japanese commentary, and it's going to be an amazing spectacle. So, that's my video for today. Let me know, what did you think of this tournament? Did you prefer the best of Super Junior like me, or were you a World Tag League person? Did you like the winners? What were your favourite matches? Now, as always, make sure to like, subscribe and share this video. Follow me on social media at wrestling_chat. And because this will probably be my last video before Christmas, make sure you stay safe, and I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Bye!